What's up everyone, my name is Vortlas and welcome back for some more SimRacing. As you can see, today we are back on Automobilista here for another episode of AutoMODilista, which means we're checking out another mod here for this amazing sim. And yes, I somehow found this awesome mod of Macau back on the website of the WCP-series. And yeah, what can I say? This mod is just incredible. It's a really high quality track, and definitely one you should have in your Automobilista library. As you probably know, Macau isn't really an ordinary track. It's a street circuit, a very narrow street circuit, and a very high speed street circuit, so which basically means very challenging and extremely hard to get it right, but also rewarding if you do. And we are driving the Formula 3, obviously. Chose the 309 variant, which has a little bit more downforce to it, which we kind of can use in some of the faster corners here. But yeah, this car is actually quite suited for this track. They race this car on Macau in the real world as well, as we're going down the inside here up to the tricky chicane, the notorious chicane,
right side, clear right,
or the hairpin I should say. Well, it's not a chicane at all, it's a hairpin. Excuses for that, but yeah, they drive these Formula 3s here in the real world as well. The FIA Formula 3 Championship has its venue here, and I actually looked it up, and fastest lap around here was held by Mick Schumacher. I think he's called Mick. I'm gonna have to check that afterwards, but yeah, in Formula 3 as well. So yeah, it's quite an interesting thing here. But yeah, these cars are really suited for this track, as I said. Some solid downforce we can use in the corners. It's a relatively stable car, which you can definitely use in the narrow sections. But you're gonna have to do some tweaking to the setup. First of all, the steering lock. You obviously need to whoops, as the AI is a little bit awkward here, but obviously you're gonna have to change the steering lock, because yeah, in the default setup you're most likely not gonna make it through the hairpin there.
car right, clear.
As we're going down the inside here, a little bit of contact with the wall. That's gonna happen a lot if you drive on this track, but I just wanted to clear that AI because he was kind of holding us up a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna leave my changes to the setup in the description if I don't forget it. And yeah, obviously the steering lock has been altered, but the bumps as well, because this is a really bumpy track, and this Formula 3 car is yeah, quite stiff in the default setup. It's not very loose, and you definitely need to loosen it up a little bit more in order to get it around most of the bumpy parts. As you can see here in the hairpin, it's still quite close, but yeah, we're able to make it through there, and that's the important part. Hopefully the quality of the video is alright. I am using my new PC here. The OBS settings didn't really work out for Automobilista here. Somehow it all got messed up. and it doesn't look good at all. Now I'm using Shadow Play, or how's it called, the NVIDIA GeForce
Caution.
recording thing, so hopefully that's better. But enough of that, back to the race here. It's a 6-lap race. We're already at the 3rd lap and we're 11th. Yeah, AI is set to, I believe, 112% difficulty. It's rather high, because on lower settings you'll definitely blast past them. But now find a relatively decent setting. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. The AI performs surprisingly well, definitely for a mod, and definitely for a track like this. It's surprising how well they perform. The only little thing I kind of have issues with here with the AI is at the hairpin. In the real world, the hairpin in Macau is a permanent yellow section, so there's a permanent yellow flag there, which means obviously you can't overtake. But yeah, here in the sim that isn't the case. Obviously there isn't any real yellow flags in Automobilista, or there are yellow flags, but they basically don't mean anything. But yeah, in the real world you can't overtake in this corner, which is relatively obvious if you look at it. There's really no place to overtake without a crash or whatever. But yeah, when the AI is relatively close to you, they can definitely try for a move there, and that mostly ends up badly. So yeah, that's kind of the only thing I have issues with the AI. Obviously they can yeah, slow down on some sections because they ran toward the wall a little bit, but overall it's really nice, and it's just fun to race the AI on such a track like this, because honestly in multiplayer I think this will be a mess. But yeah, I would definitely want to try that someday. Graphics as well on this track, they look amazing. Obviously there's a lot of buildings that need to be modeled in a track like this, and yeah, it just looks very nice. And now I can finally run Automobilista on the highest settings, and yeah, it just looks amazing, and I really have been enjoying it. It's a nice section if you can get it right. I scraped the wall there a little bit, but you really have to kind of make that one whole corner. And this is definitely one of those tracks you kind of have the feeling you never have a perfect lap put together. There always is something you can improve, or some section you think that you ran it just that slightly better last time around, and yeah, this is really a track like that. So we kind of clawed our way back up to the back here. It's relatively tricky to overtake on the narrow stuff. The next couple of corners are a really good overtaking spot here. Yeah, I can be a little bit slow out of the hairpin, so we're kind of gaining quietly on them. And here as well, trying to run it a little deeper than the AI. And that will set us up for the next corner, and then for the endless straight, but obviously with 2 kinks. So we're gonna remain in slipstream here. So first kink here, obviously entirely flat out in these cars. We still have slipstream, so we should be able to get a little bit closer to the orange car there. Here the second kink is a little bit trickier, but still flat out. It's relatively tricky if you go side by side through there. That's really not the way to go. And then here braking at about the 100-meter boards, downshifting to second, trying to stay as much as possible off that curb, and then keeping it in third if you're brave. I was a little bit too brave because I scratched the wall there a little bit, and then it's just this flat out section. I'm just braking right before the kink to get it in, turned in nice and easy. Make that one section as I said. Be careful for the bump on the exit. Another bump. Braking at about the post, a little tap on the brakes, get it turned in, a little bit of understeer through here. And the same for this corner. And here, this whole section, you need to take flat out, and then braking here at the board, keeping it nice and close to the inside. And then braking at about the 50-meter boards. Be careful for this corner, it's really tricky with a big bump. Same for this 90-degree right-hander here. A big bump, if you go too fast through there, you're definitely gonna spin out. Then also actually a really tricky corner. Braking at the 50-meter boards, keeping it tight here on the inside, otherwise you'll get on the outside, which is yeah, a little bit of camber. And then obviously the hairpin. You need to practice that a lot to get it absolutely right. And I think I've actually never got it absolutely right, but yeah, whatever. And then obviously powering away here, braking at about under the bridge there. Just third, trying to gain as much speed as possible, and getting it all right for this corner. Braking just for the 50-meter board. I touched the wall there on the inside a little bit. Wow, this is really hard recording and racing at the same time, and that's a yeah, a mediocre lap at Macau. So yeah, as I was saying, the Formula 3 Championship is held here. Touring cars race here as well. The TCR International raced here. WTCC back in the day, and yeah, they have Formula 3 as well. And there's also some GT3s racing here. I think it's the Asian GT3 trophy or series or championship or whatever, something like that. They raced here relatively recently, and there was kind of a big crash. I think it was somewhere about here. I should rewatch that footage, but yeah, someone crashed out and basically caused a huge pileup for the other cars to come. I think it was a qualifying session, but yeah, really a big accident. But yeah, obviously something that can relatively easy happen around here with all those blind corners, and there's just no place to go if a car suddenly crashes out in front of you. So yeah, that really is a tricky stuff. And you know, when looking at the footage, you really had the impression it was kind of a public server race.
On your right, clear.
But actually the last lap already. Maybe I should have increased the laps a little bit more, but we're kind of stuck behind this orange car. Let's look if we can still make up a position. That would be nice. We ran in a little bit too deep, and I almost lost it on the exit actually. Let's see the last corner. We're gonna be too far back, right up against the wall, but yeah, that's not gonna work out for us. So that was a quick look here at Macau, an awesome mod from the WCP-series. I'm gonna leave a link in the description, so definitely check them out, because yeah, a lot of fun, this mod, and all their stuff. Actually, you should really take a look and download what you want, because they have lots of awesome content on there. So thank you for watching. Definitely leave a like if you enjoyed, and yeah, subscribe for more videos on Automobilista and other sim racing content. I'll see you later.
All clear. Watch out, yellow flag. Watch out, yellow flag.